The Colosseum is one of the most famous ancient buildings in the world. It is located in Rome, Italy, and millions of people visit it every year. This huge amphitheater was built nearly 2,000 years ago and was used for gladiator fights, animal hunts, and other exciting shows. Let's explore the fascinating history of the Colosseum. Chapter 1. The Grand Idea. The idea to build the Colosseum came from Emperor Vespasian in AD 70-72. He wanted to create a grand place for the people of Rome to enjoy games and entertainment. The Colosseum was meant to be a symbol of the power and greatness of the Roman Empire. Vespasian was a Roman emperor who came to power after a period of civil war. He really wanted to restore peace and stability in Rome. This was his plan, to win the favor of the people and show that the empire was strong and prosperous. The design of the Colosseum was very advanced for its time. It was made of stone and concrete, with 4 levels of seating that could hold up to 50,000 spectators. The architects and the engineers used clever techniques to build such a large and impressive structure. This brings us to Chapter 2, Constructing the Colosseum. The construction of the Colosseum began around 70 to 72 AD, under Vespasian. Thousands of workers, including slaves and skilled laborers, were involved in building the amphitheater, made of limestone, tuff, and concrete. The Colosseum was completed in AD 80 by Vespasian's son, Emperor Titus. It took about 8 years to finish. The construction involved careful planning and coordination, especially when it came to creating the complex systems of arches and vaults. However, building the Colosseum was not easy. The workers had to deal with the enormous weight of the materials and ensure that the structure was stable. They used cranes to lift heavy stones into place. Despite the challenges, it was completed on time. Chapter 3. The Grand Opening. The Colosseum was officially opened in AD 80, the grand festival that lasted 100 days. During this time, there were many games and spectacles, including gladiator fights, animal hunts, and mock naval battles. Thousands of people came to watch this. One of the most popular events at the Colosseum was the gladiator games. They were prisoners of war or criminals who fought against each other or wild animals. The games were very dangerous and often deadly, but they were a major attraction for the Roman people. The Colosseum also hosted animal hunts where hunters would fight exotic animals like lions, tigers, and bears. These events were thrilling for the audience. The Colosseum was even flooded with water sometimes. Chapter 4. Life in the Colosseum. Gladiators were the star performers in the Colosseum. They trained in special schools and had to be very strong and skilled fighters. Although many were slaves, successful gladiators could become famous and even earn their freedom. The Colosseum was home to many wild animals brought from different parts of the Roman Empire. Some included elephants, crocodiles, and even giraffes. These were used in hunts and battles, providing excitement for the audience. The Colosseum was designed to hold up to 50,000 spectators. People from all walks of life attended the games, from the poor to the rich. The best seats were reserved for the wealthy and important citizens. Chapter 5. Changes and Challenges over time. Over the centuries, the Colosseum suffered from several earthquakes that caused significant damage. The outer walls and parts of the interior were damaged, and some sections even collapsed. Despite this, it still stands today. After the fall of the Roman Empire, the Colosseum was used for various purposes. It became a fortress, a quarry for building materials, and even a Christian shrine. People took stones from the Colosseum to build other buildings in Rome. In the 18th and 19th centuries, efforts were made to preserve and restore the Colosseum. Archaeologists and historians recognize its importance as a historical monument and work to protect it. Chapter 6. The Colosseum Today. Today, the Colosseum is one of the most visited tourist attractions in the world. People from all over the globe come to see this ancient marvel and learn about its history. There's a lot of restoration work that continues to keep the Colosseum in good condition. Modern technology is even used to study and preserve the structure, ensuring that the story of ancient Rome is told. The Colosseum is also an educational resource. Schools, universities, and even historians study the Colosseum to learn about Roman architecture, engineering, and culture. It provides valuable insights into how the ancient Romans lived. Chapter 7. The Colosseum's Architecture. It was designed with great skill and ingenuity. It had arches and even vaults that distribute the weight of the building evenly. It was very strong and able to support thousands of spectators who came to watch the events. The seating was very carefully organized. The best seats were for the emperor, senators, and even other important people. The ordinary people sat at the back, as well as the poor. The arena floor was made of wood and covered with sand. This helped to absorb the blood from the fights and made it easier to clean. Underneath the arena were tunnels and rooms where gladiators and animals were kept before the games. Chapter 8. The Colosseum and Popular Culture. The Colosseum is a powerful symbol of Rome and its history. It appears in many films, books, and even artworks representing the might and grandeur of the Roman Empire. It's one of the most recognizable landmarks in the world. It has inspired many stories. Tales of gladiators, fierce battles, and dramatic events have been passed down through the centuries, captivating people's imaginations and keeping the history of the Colosseum alive. The Colosseum continues to be featured in modern media. It appears in movies, shows, and video games, often as a dramatic backdrop for action and adventure. This helps to keep the Colosseum relevant and exciting for new generations. Chapter 9: The Colosseum's Impact on Architecture. It has influenced modern sports stadiums. Tiered seating, arches, and the use of concrete are still used in building large arenas today. The Colosseum set the standard for how to accommodate large crowds efficiently. It is considered an engineering marvel. The techniques were studied by engineers and architects for centuries. Its durability and strength are a testament to Roman engineering skills. This structure has also influenced urban planning. It was part of a larger complex that included other important buildings and public spaces, showing how the Romans planned and organized their cities to accommodate large populations and events. Chapter 10: Environmental Efforts. The environmental efforts to preserve the Colosseum are ongoing. Pollution, weather, and natural wear and tear threaten the ancient structure, so the people work to keep it standing strong for future generations to enjoy. With millions of visitors each year, managing tourism is important. There are measures to protect the Colosseum from overcrowding and damage, ensuring that it remains a cultural and historical site for years to come. It also helps raise awareness about the importance of preserving historical monuments. There are also educational programs to teach us about the history of the Colosseum. This structure belongs not only to Italy but to the world. It's a treasure that represents a shared history and cultural heritage. Even after nearly 2,000 years, the Colosseum continues to inspire people. Its story of resilience, innovation, and human spirit is a testament to the enduring power of history. As we look to the future, the Colosseum stands as a beacon of what humanity can achieve. This brings us to the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out the Eiffel Tower video on the left, and as always, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one.